The leadership of Hong Kong SCR, Secretary General Teresa Cheng, colleagues from signatory and contracting states, I think it is a big honor to me coming back to Hong Kong after officially launching IOMed just the other day. It's my profound honor to address this historic gathering, the first mediation conference of the International Organization for Mediation, hosted in this vibrant, rule-based city of Hong Kong. Your presence here, despite the global headwinds, is a powerful testament to our shared belief that dialogue, not discord, must shape our common destiny. Today, we will walk through the journey of IOMed, which has taken from conceptualization to operationalization, and reflect and apply our thoughts on three major focus areas during this global summit. As we appreciate the role of IOMed, let us recognize the fact that IOMed was not born in comfort. It was born in a world fractured by protracted state-to-state conflicts, a surge in investor-state disputes, and a growing realization that litigation and arbitration, while indispensable, often leaves parties with winners and losers, and also broken relationships. The bright and thoughtful process that led to our founding rested on a simple yet radical premise. Mediation should not be an afterthought. It should be a primary, parallel, or preventive tool. It comes about after realizing that the existing dispute resolution architecture lacked dedicated treaty-based intergovernmental organization. IOMed was thus positioned as a permanent, neutral, and expert-driven body. Today, focusing on three areas of action, we will realize that mediation is not merely a technique. It is a bridge across civilizations. When mediation between states and divergent historical narratives, the mediator's role is to translate not just words. We are looking at values, fears, and aspirations. It becomes the work of our mediators, therefore, to bridge the cultural gap. Mediators, therefore, as we would learn today through our panel discussions, should identify underlying needs of the disputants. Well-trained mediators are required to reframe positions without humiliation. Mediators as well should appreciate the cultural differences. We know we come from different diverse backgrounds, and this is what litigation and arbitration has never taken into place in all dispute resolution mechanisms. And therefore, mediation sits in a very unique place where unique interests are taken into account when dispute resolution is being conducted. Building trust, for example, is key, because if disputants are supposed to agree among themselves, because mediation is not being decided or decision imposed by anybody. It is the disputants who will agree to settle the matter. And for that to happen, trust has to be built among the disputants. Therefore, the mediating team has a big responsibility to build trust among the disputants so that successful resolution, like what our SG has told us today, could happen. We want to applaud IOMed for making the first successful mediation process. And I was expecting everybody, when SG mentioned that, to applaud IOMed. So can we do it even after that? Thank you. It is really gratifying to realize a body started just 5 months ago is already hitting the road running and resolving disputes through mediation. Location of Hong Kong SER is critical. It is critical because of its background. It is critical because of its multi-ethnicity kind of environment. And so a location for mediation is so important. And we are lucky as IOMed to have had Hong Kong SER as our location. It should be a place where the disputants feel comfortable when they are sorting their issues. Now, why state investors choose mediation? I know the panel discussion will dive into this. And why should mediation be the first choice? In most cases, we have seen litigation and arbitration taking the first choice. And then in the process, people realize that's taken too much time, and then they refer back to mediation. What we want to reposition is the fact that mediation should be the first choice before the other dispute resolution mechanisms. Distinguished experts will dive into this. The answer is simple. Mediation aligns with modern risk management and relationships. We must remember the fundamental truth about mediation is its ancient nature. Its origin is pre-legal and rooted in the very fabric of human communication. Before formal courts and complex treaties, societies resolve disputes through impartial third parties. Mediation's role is not new. It is primordial. It's a tool for finding shared meaning when dialogue is broken down. We are not reinventing the wheel. We are validating and institutionalizing its power on a global scale. We recognize that purely adversarial legal system cannot alone manage complexities of modern independent states. Let us look at states, for example. Their main concern in any dispute resolution is issues of sovereignty. When we co-legalize, the issues of sovereignty is put at the back burner, while the basic integral part of every nation is its sovereignty. And so mediation is clear and keen to ensure that sovereignty of states are not injured when dispute resolution is being conducted. The other issue is cost effectiveness. We know mediation is legal disputes through legalese and arbitration has been very expensive. And so mediation has come in handy to try to reduce the cost of dispute resolution. Not only the cost, but also the cost in terms of time. Legal disputes take far much too long, and mediation will handle matters in a more shorter manner. Reputation is also a very important aspect which mediation protects. Every human being, every state, every investor would want to preserve their reputation. And so when dispute resolution is handled in a manner where reputation is intact, that would be the best form of dispute resolution. What we have also seen is implementation rate of arbitrated cases is very high. Very high because the disputants are contributing to the solution. While legal issues which has been imposed because of laws and rules becomes an issue even when implementation comes to question. And therefore, we have every reason, and we look forward at the discussions today to delve more into this. Looking at investors, for example. As an investor, whenever there is a dispute resolution, your main concern is to have it dispensed to it as soon as possible. And therefore, we have had investment legal cases which run for years. And therefore, we really thank IOMed and mediation in itself for coming up with investment state dispute resolution as one of the key mandates of IOMed. we will see more of speedy resolution of cases. We also leave room when mediation happens to more innovative ways of solving the problem, not a straitjacket kind of dispute resolution. Why then should mediation be the first choice and not an alternative? Waiting until dispute escalates, making settlement harder. Going to court and then realizing that it could have been sorted out through mediation will make it even harder. IOMed promotes tired clauses in contracts. First negotiate, then mediate, then if need be, arbitrate, and have litigation as the last resort. And how do we do this? By embedding mediation as a parallel resolution mechanism. How much of our contracts embed mediation as a dispute resolution mechanism? We sign various contracts in our course of life, both state to state, investors, commercial undertakings, we sign contracts. But how many of those contracts have mediation as a dispute resolution? For sure, it is still negligible in the world at the moment. We find arbitration, and they even specify where the arbitration will take place in most cases. I've taken part in quite a number, and it has not been funny. So what we call upon from IOMed perspective is that the world and corporates should now incorporate mediation as a dispute resolution mechanism and be embedded in our contracts, MOUs, and all other mechanisms of dispute resolution. So we are not building a wall where mediation replaces all other conflict resolution mechanisms. We are building an ecosystem. A global mediation structure should look like a supportive network, not just a central bureau. It should include robust training for new generations of mediators, clear ethical standards, mechanisms for enforcement of mediated settlement agreements, and comprehensive support system through data research and shared best practice, like what we are doing today. IOMed, as the first major international organization dedicated to resolving international disputes through mediation, must be the cornerstone of this structure. It must be the hub of connectivity, supporting and linking national institutions and practitioners. To make mediation visible for more people and more countries, IOMed has put in place a four-part ecosystem. Legal infrastructure. By creating a compelling argument for its value, we must ensure that mediation strengthens rather than weakens the rule of law. It makes justice more accessible and dispute resolution less source of instability. We must advocate for legal changes that support mediation process. As contracting states, as states who have signed the mediation to IOMed, I think our next move is to ensure that we influence our legal system such that it supports mediation as a process. In Kenya, for example, any case which goes to court, a judge determines and says this is a case which can be handled through mediation, and it is taken back for mediation. I think we should institutionalize the issues of mediation, even in our legal system. We should then model laws and protocols for enforcing mediated settlements, agreements across borders, complementing the other conventions in the conflict resolution mechanisms. The convention's purpose is to make mediation settlements enforceable internationally by providing a global legal framework. The whole mediation architecture, which needs to be built across the world, is also to give it confidence by ensuring that settlements are actually enforceable. And so the key thing to create this legal ecosystem of mediation and to entrench it globally is to make it enforceable. The other tier is financial accessibility. We want to thank IOMed because the principle of IOMed is to make access to fairness and legal dispute resolution accessible because it is affordable. The other issue is capacity building, and this has been said by Secretary General, that capacity building is a hallmark, is another tier in IOMed, where we want to capacity build because it's a new field, and it is a field where key issues has to be taken into account before mediation. So capacity building is critical, and IOMed has made it upon itself to ensure that capacity building becomes a serious tier. And also the digital platform, which has been created, so that arbitration can at the same time be undertaken even virtually. I think this will be a breakthrough when mediation can be undertaken across the world, even in a virtual manner. Excellencies, we all know that legal disputes have been very expensive. And therefore, IOMed has made it cost-effective, as I have said, has made dispute resolution within reach for many disputants, and has created a homegrown solution. Because again, through mediation, the solution should be homegrown. It should be solutions which you can identify with. And in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, as we commence our discussions today, my wish is simple, that you leave Hong Kong not with more documents, but with more conviction. Conviction that mediation can stop wars before they start. Conviction that investors and states can sit across the same table. And conviction that global mediation ecosystem is possible, and that IOMed is the rightful architect. Let our discussions be robust and our outcomes actionable. Let IOMed be the hope of dispute resolution. May this summit bear fruit for peace and justice for the world. I thank you.